convict.
What up, though?
Ooh, Tony here, you did this beat?
What's happening?
What's happening, Skip?
What's happening? I'm next season with this fashion shit. Every time the killers come in town, they be tapping in. Cadillac, bulletproof. Man, you gotta back it in. You hear them boys say, what up, though? That's Tone and them.
What up, dog? 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 What up, dog?
Took some time to get a deal cause I was robbing niggas. Now I'm really grinding, nigga, I can save niggas. Hella fuck a nigga mama if he play crazy. 3 million in a month, bitch, I ain't lazy. In the truck 30 days, I'm on vacation. Cybertruck look like a computer or a PlayStation.
When this song dropped, I was selling crack. Now I'm saying, what up, though? Hopping out my Maybach, white buffies on my face, Allen sign on my back. I'm a Detroit nigga, both pockets filled with racks. Take a back to the Coney Island, order all flats. Finna take her to the 6, ride past my old trap. Gotta stop at Granny crib, leave her a couple stacks. Then I'm jumping on the plane in November, I'll be back. What up?
What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for show. But everybody in my city say, what up, though? What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for show. But everybody in my city say, what up, though?
OG, when they see me, bet they greet me like, what up, though? Niggas already hating when they see me like, what up, bro? Bitch, I'm from the east, I spent the dub up on my pieces. Louis V, it cost your lease, I spent the rack just for the teeth. Baby, I ain't trying to hear no stories how your nigga lying. Ford Field signing jerseys like I played for the line. Courtside at the game, you might catch a nigga front row. And bitch, I'm from the city where we yelling out, what up, though?
See me in the club, rollie on chill. Pocket full of racks on blue fake bills. Cartier zone, diamonds in my ears. Hardest dog shit, so you know the ice clear. Yeah, I'm from the D, where we hard do our thing, dog. Say what up, though? Talk with our own slang, dog. Super legendary, turn the hit into a hit again. Now it's turn, got the whole city lit again. What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for show. But everybody in my city say, what up, though? What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for show. But everybody in my city say, what up, though? What up? What up, though? What up? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though?
We got
What's happening? What up? What to do? That's for sure. But everybody in our city say, what up, doe? Yo, Tone, you look different. It's been 20 years. I was 14 years old when that song originally came out. Tone done popped back out 20 years later with the Rip Man. It's about time they redid it. What up, doe? Yo. But yeah, salute. Let's get to it. What up, though? Them dreads, though, Tone. I don't know about them dreads, Tone, but it's all good. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, y'all. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use, y'all. Alright, salute, shout out to the Replay Gang, let yours truly in the biggest M, I know, know what you think, we can agree, we can disagree, everybody coming in and out of the live, kindly, if you could take whatever finger you would like, real smooth, like, real cool, like, and tap on the thumbs up button for yours truly in the biggest M, I know, my Bushwatchers, I see y'all up there. It's okay if you want to fall out and engage. If you're new here, we don't bite. And if you're just, a Bushwatcher, that's fine. But you guys as well, take whatever finger. Real smooth, like, tap on the thumbs up button. Like, comment, share the live in my TikTok voice, yo. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. It's free, $99. It's free. If you do want to purchase a membership, which you get special perks with, the link is on my page, me and Big M's page, and you can go ahead and become a member. In our opinion, you would look better in green over here anyway, y'all. Just our opinion. So yeah, let's get on into it real quick.
Everyone standing around?
Right here? Which side do you want?
Put her on this side.
Which side?
This side?
Jennifer Kendrick is in handcuffs and she's going to jail after she's charged with allowing her boyfriend to abuse her daughter.
Just turn off for me.
Now Jerome Combs is charged with murdering that 3-year-old beautiful little girl and abusing 2 other children. I'll take you through the horrific way that investigators say little Paisley Brown died and why this investigation is far from over. I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. This case, the death of beautiful little Paisley Brown, is absolutely horrific. And one of the reasons we can talk to you about cases like this is because we have sponsors. And one of those sponsors is Upside. Upside will give you cash back on things you buy every day, like this little girl, 3-year-old Paisley, on your first tank of gas.
You open my respects to my baby to her funeral Sunday.
This little girl, 3-year-old Paisley Brown, is dead. Her family described her as fun, loving, energetic, a little girl with a big smile. But the people who were supposed to love and protect Paisley, her own mother and her mother's boyfriend, allegedly failed her so badly. And this is so really hard to hear. What you're going to hear is horrific. Investigators say her mother's boyfriend punched her in the chest, dropped her on the floor, and ran water over her face in the shower, all while she was bound with a robe, tie, and painter's tape. On February 19th, sheriff's deputies in Marion County, Florida, got the call that every law enforcement officer dreads. A child was unresponsive at a home in Citra. When they arrived, they found 3-year-old Paisley Brown. She was already gone. And the man detectives said was inside, her mother's boyfriend, Jerome Combs. Deputies said he was trying to leave. Investigators say bystanders pointed to Combs and said he was the one who did it. Within hours, Combs was in cuffs, charged then with aggravated child abuse. But as investigators soon discovered, the person they were looking for wasn't just the man accused in Paisley's death. It was also the one person Paisley should have been able to trust the most in this world, her own mother. And to help us understand what happened here and what's happened since, we're going to bring in Lieutenant Paul Bloom of the Marion County Sheriff's Office in just a little bit. I actually spoke with him shortly after Paisley died, before her mother was ever arrested.
One of the gut-wrenching parts of this is that we were being told by another juvenile that was in the home that they heard this attack taking place. And they knew what it was. They recognized the sound of this attack, according to their statement. We're not looking at the finger pointing and blame. We're looking for the facts of the case. We're still investigating. It's still an active case. We want to find out anything we can. History, how long has this been going on in the home? And we want to know, did the mom know about this or not? What did she know?
Now, that was Lieutenant Bloom speaking with us shortly after Paisley's death. Back then, he said they were still investigating what the mother knew. Now we have answers. On March 4th, 2 weeks after Paisley died, Jennifer Kendrick was arrested. She now faces 2 counts of child neglect, plus a probation violation from a prior drug case. And Jerome Combs, the medical examiner, ruled Paisley's death a homicide, so his charges were upgraded to second-degree murder. But it didn't stop there. Investigators said the abuse in the home extended beyond Paisley. On March 5th, Combs was charged with child abuse and aggravated child abuse for alleged crimes against other children living under that roof. Both of them are sitting in the Marion County Jail, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
So at this time, you're being arrested for the charge of aggravated child abuse, okay?
so they don't get any tighter on you.
Question. Yes. For me being off felony probation, how is this gonna work? You're gonna get violated.
Okay, that's an automatic. I can't control that, all right?
That's if you want. If you want to walk out there with me. All right, walk with me. Try to just set it on my car when we get out of here. This one? Got everyone standing around?
The one right here?
Mm-hmm.
Which side do you want
Put her on this side.
Which side?
This side?
I gave yeah.
Do you have anything in your pockets that are in poker stick me?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna pat you down, all right?
You opened my space, my baby's to her funeral Sunday.
Is there anything I missed? No? Okay. Have a seat for me?
Brian is the best content marketing team lead I've ever worked with. But before he created his content calendar using Monday.com.
Those are the moments Jerome Coombs and Jennifer Kendrick were handcuffed and taken away. So to even attempt to understand
This is America, y'all. This is one day ago.
what police say happened to this little girl, let's go back to the very beginning. According to the sheriff's office, Jerome Coombs moved in with Jennifer Kendrick in January 2026. According to investigators, he and Kendrick met on Facebook dating just a few months earlier. By the time he moved in, he became the primary caregiver for all of Kendrick's children. Lieutenant Bloom says that 5 children were living in that house, and they ranged in age from 1 to 9, and Paisley was the youngest. She was just 3 years old. And according to court documents, Coombs had a system for what he called discipline. According to the arrest affidavit, Coombs told investigators that Paisley had developed a habit of reaching into her diaper and smearing feces. His solution? Detectives said Coombs told them he would bind her. According to the affidavit, he would bind the child victim's hands together with a white robe tie belonging to Ms. Kendrick. And when she figured out how to use her feet to remove the tie, the affidavit alleges he started to tape her legs together with blue painter's tape from her thighs to her ankles, leaving space in between. That's how he told police Paisley slept, night after night. Now, fast forward to February 18th, 2026, the night before Paisley died. According to Kendrick's statement to investigators, she worked the late shift at 5 Star Pizza. She got home after 10 p.m., and Paisley was awake, in good spirits. The next morning, February 19th, Kendrick says she left around 9:15 a.m., and all of the kids were asleep. Kendrick had errands to run, first the post office, then the DMV, then Happy Nails on East State Road. At 10:29 that morning, she FaceTimed Coombs. On that call, she said she could hear Paisley in the background yelling, "I love you, Mommy." At 10:49, Kendrick texted Coombs a photo of her nails. He didn't respond. At 10:58, 9 minutes later, she said she FaceTimed him again. When Coombs told her Paisley was unresponsive, the affidavit says that Kendrick responded saying, "What the F do you mean? Put her on the phone." Coombs panned the camera to Paisley. According to the affidavit, Kendrick saw her daughter, quote, pale and limp. Her eyes were somewhat but barely open, and the area under her eyes appeared very dark and gray in color. Now, if you get that call, what do? You call 911, wouldn't you think? Well, according to investigators, Jennifer Kendrick did not call 911. She did not rush home. Instead, she finished getting her nails done. Then she left the nail salon and called her mother. She called Coombs again, and then she drove home. The affidavit notes that the call for service was received by MCSO at 11:38 a.m., 40 minutes after Ms. Kendrick learned the child victim was unresponsive. So what happened in those 40 minutes? What happened to Paisley? According to Coombs' statement to investigators, here's how he tells it. He said he woke up around 10 a.m. and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. He heard Paisley calling for him from the playpen, where she slept, still bound from the night before. He claimed she appeared groggy, but investigators noted a problem with that story. Kendrick had just spoken to Coombs at 10:29 and heard Paisley in the background in good spirits. The affidavit makes clear the child victim was still alive and not groggy when the defendant spoke to Ms. Kendrick just before 10:29 a.m. His actions after that initial call resulted in her death. And so when confronted with the discrepancy, Coombs reportedly made a key admission to detectives, telling them, quote, "He messed up and is a terrible person." Here's what police say he admitted to doing. He picked Paisley up from the playpen. She was still bound, her hands tied, her legs taped. He said she was flailing and kicking, and he dropped her. When she hit the ground, he told investigators she sounded as though she was gasping for air. Then he admitted to popping her 3 times in the chest, but detectives told him popping wouldn't cause the injuries they saw on Paisley's body. So they brought in a doll. And according to the affidavit, Coombs showed them. The defendant demonstrated the way that he popped or struck the child victim with the back of his hand on the doll, primarily using his knuckles. He explained how he dug his knuckles into the child victim's chest after every strike. After the 3rd strike, the child victim appeared to stop breathing, and he realized he took it too far. Instead of calling 911, the affidavit states the defendant removed the tape and...
What is going on in America, y'all? This is so sad. But I need you guys to give me 1 second, okay? 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. Big M, hey. Sorry. Unexpected, sorry.
Wrist tie from the child victim and took her to the bathroom. He turned on the bath and ran water over the child victim in an attempt to revive her. He then placed the child victim in a high chair and attempted to give her some juice, but she spit it up. Meanwhile, Jennifer Kendrick was driving home. When she finally arrived, the affidavit says she observed the child victim sitting in the high chair, limp. It was cold to the touch. That's when she screamed, "My baby is gone. Call 911." Coombs finally made the 911 call. It was 11:38 a.m., 40 minutes after Jennifer Kendrick first learned Paisley was unresponsive. Paramedics rushed Paisley to the hospital. She was pronounced dead at 12:32 p.m. At the hospital, a detective documented obvious signs of outward trauma, namely bruising on her chest, possible ligature marks on the child victim's ankles and wrists. Later during the autopsy, pathologists found blunt force trauma not previously observed on the back of the child victim's head, only visible underneath the skin. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide. Now, what about the mother? What did Jennifer Kendrick know? A 9-year-old boy in the home told investigators that Coombs, who the children called Elmo, put him in handcuffs every day. He described Coombs punching him in the stomach and chest, leaving bruises. He demonstrated how Coombs would brace himself against a wall and stomp on him violently. According to the affidavit, that same boy told investigators, according to juvenile victim, the defendant was aware and often present when this would take place. On the day of the incident, juvenile victim was handcuffed behind his back. When the defendant arrived at the incident location, he asked to use the restroom, at which time she removed the handcuffs. And then there are the text messages.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI.
On January 6, 2026, more than a month before Paisley died, detectives say that Kendrick texted Coombs, "Babe, I know you're raising him with me, but I need the popping with shoe calm down some because I can't have the bruises on him if DCF pop up. If you want to pop them on top, they close or whatever, cool, just no bruises." The very next day, January 7th, detectives say she texted him again. "No more popping. His whole ear is bruised up, so I can't let DCF see that stuff, babe." When investigators confronted Kendrick with this evidence, the affidavit states the defendant admitted that she did not protect her children. Her lack of intervention, despite knowing what the co-defendant was doing, played a role in the death of victim Paisley Brown.
This one? Everyone standing around?
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Which side do you want on?
Put her on this side.
This side?
This side? Just turn around for me.
Those are the moments we showed you earlier. Jerome Coombs and Jennifer Kendrick, they were handcuffed and they were taken away. And as we mentioned, the charges against Coombs didn't stop with Paisley. What you just heard about, the alleged abuse of that 9-year-old boy, that's what led to the additional charges filed against him on March 5th. Child abuse and aggravated child abuse. It's worth looking at the images that both of these people projected to the world. On Facebook, Jerome Coombs seemed to fancy himself as something of a digital creator. He posted videos with captions about God, religion, his wife. Jennifer Kendrick's Facebook paints a troubling picture. Just 2 months before Paisley died on December 12, 2025, she posted, "Right now, I just need some deep condolences. Whenever I'm in a better state of mind, I will let everyone know what's wrong. But right now, this is hard for me to handle." And then on December 28th, just weeks before Coombs moved in, she wrote, "I really can't just wait to walk into a new fresh year with the man who healed me from all the past trauma, who doesn't just love me, but loves my kids too." That man, the one she said healed her trauma and loved her kids, is now charged with murdering her 3-year-old daughter, Paisley. And a man who says he's Paisley's biological father seemed to be trying to warn others about the mother of his children way before this occurred. Back in October of 2025, 4 months before Paisley died, he posted to Facebook, "As a concerned parent, I am reaching out for assistance in locating my children who have been denied access to me by their mother, Jennifer Kendrick, since June. Despite my efforts, I have only seen them a handful of times since then. As their primary caregiver since birth, I have been significantly impacted by our separation, having lost everything." He claimed 2 of his children were in a different town while his 4-year-old son was being cared for by others as Kendrick, in his words, engaged in illicit activities. His plea at the time, "If anyone encounters Jennifer Kendrick or sees my children, please notify me. What steps can I take to resolve this situation?" Now that question hanging in the air, his daughter is gone, and her mother and her mother's boyfriend sit in jail. He has set up a GoFundMe to cover funeral expenses, the cost of clothing and hygiene items for Paisley's siblings, and to help secure housing for his family. And this case is sparking a bigger conversation. There's a petition calling for change, the Paisley Brown Child Protection and Accountability Act. It would require mandatory background checks on any adult with access to children in the reunification process and automatic safety plans when a partner has a history of violence. So I'd like to bring in Lieutenant Paul Bloom of the Marion County Sheriff's Office to talk about these upgraded charges and also Paisley Brown's mother now facing charges in this case. So Lieutenant Bloom, thanks so much for coming back on. I know that when we talked a couple of weeks ago, the investigation was still ongoing. So bring me up to speed on what you all found.
This recent developments here in the last, were really overnight. It's just been a continuation of this case since February 19th. We first learned of the horrific murder of this child. Our detectives began investigating and speaking with all the witnesses. And we may have mentioned before, but there were 5 children and ages ranging from 1 to 9 that are in this house at various times. So I know there's been a lot of, patience tends to run thin, and we want this. A lot of folks say, "Hey, we want this mother arrested. Why is she not being arrested?" But also justice has to run its course. I realize the patience is running thin, but justice has to run its course. And our detectives had the unenviable job of interviewing children about the most horrific event in their little lives and extracting that information from them, and the counselors and all that work with them just did a great job. But it takes a little bit. We piece it together. And last night, the mother was arrested, Ms. Kendrick. She's charged with the child neglect. And we're not stopping there. The investigation is continuing. We're talking to additional victims. And in fact, Mr. Coombs, who was charged with homicide, we received a report back from the coroner's office indicating that the death was a result of homicide. And so he was charged with that. And then he additionally received more charges for other victims, other child victims, and besides the Paisley that was murdered, that he murdered. And he has some additional charges placed on him as well. So both of them, the good news is both of them are sitting in our jail today with no bond. They're not getting out, and the children are safe. We're working with these kids and providing any and all resources to them to keep them safe and make sure that they're not faced with this again.
How did you uncover the abuse, the alleged abuse of the other children? Was it because they revealed it in these interviews and, were witnesses to what happened to Paisley?
That's just it. And getting a young child to talk about something that's so scary, so frightening and nightmarish is not something that happens quickly. So as the days go on, and it's true with a lot of victims, they remember more after the incident has happened. And so with patience and speaking with these children and finding out we have licensed counselors and that conduct these interviews, and we get this information, and the mother, Ms. Kendrick, she did not deny it. She admitted her involvement in this and was charged accordingly. So I think with real positivity, I believe with all my heart there's going to be more charges coming forward as we speak with more victims and get deeper into this case.
How do nonprofits avoid paying $1.4 billion in fees?
Zeffy.
Zeffy keeps every dollar working for your cause. When your nonprofit collects $50, you get the full $50. No fees taken out of the total. Switch to Zeffy today and see savings immediately.
More charges against Jennifer Kendrick.
That's correct. Yeah, she's this child. The details of this child being tied up and I say punished. They say punished. She was complicit with, in the probable cause affidavit confirms that she knew this was happening. She's responsible, and at some point, someone asked me, why would this happen? I said, well, it's priorities. Her priorities and selfishness led to this. Your children, once you become a parent, any priorities that you had are old. Your new priority is your child, and you are responsible completely for their safety, well-being, and happiness. So she abandoned that, and she's been charged accordingly, and she is right where she needs to be.
What were her priorities? Because the last time we spoke, you said that she wasn't working outside the home.
So she may have had a little job. We don't know. She the day that this happened, she was in the city getting her nails done, and gets a call that her child is unresponsive. Most parents, that's the worst news you ever would get. You would be calling 911. Multiple people would be calling 911, but we received no 911 call. Not more than 40 minutes later, she drives home, and then somebody else asked them, have you called 911? And then they finally dial 911. Would that have saved this child's life? We don't know that, but would have been the right thing to do? Absolutely. She failed in that sense, and so when you ask about her priorities, I think her priorities are herself, very selfish. To place your children into a position where you know abuse was happening, and you didn't deny that, but you allowed that to continue, and that's where her priorities lie.
What is her relationship with Jerrion Coombs? I know he was quote unquote babysitting, if you want to call it that, these kids, but is there more to the relationship?
Yeah, we believe this is her boyfriend, and they're living there at home together, and these children. People have asked about the relationship, but we can't reveal the relationship to either one of them in that just based on the charges, but trying to protect the children. But I can tell you the children were familiar with that home. This is where these children lived and stayed. But yes, he was her boyfriend.
He was her boyfriend. They were a couple. This is just horrific. And it seems to me that I'm just flabbergasted. I'm at a loss. Had they been together a really long time, because your priority should be, as we talked about earlier, this health and safety of your child. But she's out getting her nails done, she's doing whatever, and not even returning home when she finds out her child's unresponsive.
That's right. Yeah, it takes her a while to respond back to her house when you're told that information, and it is shocking. You're right, Anjanette. This is something that even those of us in the business and doing this kind of work every day, it's not well received. It still shocks us. These detectives that worked on this case has kept them up at nights, and again, I just think of the unimaginable and the unenviable position that they had to be in to speak with these child victims and have them recount such horrible things and learn of this. So it's something that we like to think that doesn't happen in our society. Nobody wants to think that, but the unfortunate truth is this does. But right now, with his new charges and additional charges and the mother being arrested, Paisley's small voice is starting to be heard, I think, with justice for her. So we look for that to continue. And the main, I guess the main thing here is that these children are now safe. They're going to experience a new life that is not just clouded with abuse and violence and threats. And so they're going to learn about a whole different world that exists out there is our hope.
It's just absolutely awful, really horrific. Are there any family members of Paisley's that you all have been in touch with? Have they been trying to get in touch with her? I had seen an interview I think with like a former stepfather of hers.
So we have been in contact with known family members, and we are working with the Department of Children and Families here in Florida. I know we were being asked, well, where are the children now? We cannot disclose that, other than that we've relinquished them to the care of Department of Children and Families, and they're going to speak with family members and find the most suitable location for these children to enjoy a happy life that they deserve, and get as far away as we can from that type of abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope that they are in really good environments now. Obviously, they are not in the environment they were in before. Obviously, this will go in front of a grand jury at some point, and they're both now in your jail. When do you think other charges could be filed against Jennifer Kendrick?
So for me to put a timeline on it, it's kind of difficult. I know just from the time of the incident to today, it's been a little bit, but and again, we're dealing with children victims, so a little slower extracting that information. But it could be in the coming days, it could be in the coming weeks. But I feel very good, very strongly that based on what we're already learning, that she does stand a good chance to gain some more charges, well-deserved charges.
Well, Lieutenant.
Yeah, okay, I got something to say. I'm waiting you to pause it for the longest. This is her mother's boyfriend watching her kids. And he called and told her baby was unresponsive and she didn't come home.
Yeah, diabolical. I thought the same thing. Like, it seems like she's in on it.
And you knew he was beating these kids and you didn't say that.
She didn't. You heard her say she told him not to stop bopping her where they can see it. Remember, and she was telling him underneath the clothes, so they'll be covered up, the bruises.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you a little secret.
Huh?
I'm gonna tell you a secret about all your secrets about me.
Okay.
I don't agree with my son hitting my granddaughter, chastising them, or any man chastising them. I feel like that's teaching them it's okay for a man to hit you. He loved you. He's showing you the right way. No, don't put your hands on my baby. Ain't no man gonna touch my grandkids.
I agree. I feel like
that's teaching them it's okay for a man to hit them.
Amen.
And that's not okay
at all. And then they're gonna grow up and go out and look for that in the man that they want.
That
you know,
daddy thing. And then you get in trouble. You get a spanking.
Yep, it's the cycle. The cycle just lives on and lives on because mental health is real.
Exactly. And in this day and time, this lady, she didn't even care. I mean, come on.
Nah, she didn't give one F at all.
She's actually getting her nails done. Her baby's dying.
That's crazy to me. Like, how can you do that? Like, I wonder if they really just suppress it.
How?
Or like if they really just are that sick.
I don't know how you do this.
What'd you say?
Think it's okay. I don't know how she
that part.
Go through this and think it's okay.
It's very, very diabolical and unfortunate. But again, these are the boyfriends, the mothers, the ones that are supposed to keep the baby safe. It's
and she had 5 kids.
I wonder why. It's always one for some reason, man. But let's keep listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Paul Bloom, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time for talking about such a really awful, awful case.
It is. All right. Well, we appreciate you getting that out there.
Now, detectives say Jennifer Kendrick and Jerome Coombs were living together as a couple, but as you heard earlier, Coombs hadn't lived with Jennifer Kendrick's children very long, only since January. A judge ordered that Jennifer Kendrick be held without bail and that she have no contact with her remaining children. Jerome Coombs is also being held without bail. Both are in the Marion County Jail. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.
Again, this is America. These are our parents, yo. These are the people that are having babies and some more ish and just doing what they want. It's so scary and so sad.
Yes. Yes.
I hope that do you think the mother's gonna get in trouble, Big M?
She should.
Absolutely. I think she should absolutely, most definitely get in trouble.
But wait, which city? I didn't check the city.
This one right here. Let me hold on. Shit. Hold on one sec. Big M, I got you.
If it ain't, probably she definitely charged.
Hold on, let's see. This happened 1 day ago too.
He's going to really be in trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't say the time, but hold on, I'm gonna do this.
It was 1 kid or 2.
She had several kids, but he only did it to the one.
How old was the kid?
3 years old.
He don't like.
Yep, 3 years old she was. This is he even got into it's Marion County, so that's Georgia. Yep, that's Marion County, Georgia. Oh yeah, let me make sure. But I know that's Georgia. Yeah, I know them county. That's it's super sad. But yeah, y'all.
I wish the nigga would one time.
That part. I wish would too. And we're gonna come back early in the morning. I'm working on something, me and Big M, and we're gonna go ahead and end it like we always do. Cause I gotta get to some things. Sorry guys, if I am rushing, but I don't mean to. Life is lifing. So you're smarter than you think. You're braver than you believe. You're stronger than you seem. I feel it in my heart and soul. Time, y'all. Remember, it's all love over here. It's real over here. And until next time, y'all, make sure you're real smooth with it, cool with it, and most importantly, as true as you can be with it. Big M.
Peace.
And my Big M voice, y'all. Peace. Salud, salud, salud.
Salute. See you next time.
Father, you know we